In this video, we're going to learn how to filter, sort, and output data as a table using the SAS Studio tasks. So for that, I'll go into SAS. To exemplify this, I will be using a data set that is on the SAS help library. It's called class. So in this data set, as you can see, we have 5 columns, 5 variables, and 19 observations. This looks like a data set on, well, the name is class, so probably, these are students from a class. We have the gender, the age, height, weight, etc. Let's say you want to create a list that includes only the females. So how will you go about this? Well, you can use the tasks. You click on task, data, and as we saw, we have different tasks. We already learned how to use the list task, but now you want to filter your table by gender. You only want to show the females. So you'll click on filter. Make sure that you have the right data set, right? You have to click here, make sure that you have the right data set. Now, in this case, class, right, which is in the SAS help library. So we're going to filter by gender, by sex, right? Sex, we'll say I only want those observations which are equal to F, okay? So if I do that, and I run that code, well, then I will obtain a table that you can see here with, or a new data set. It's actually a new data set. With only the females, okay? Only the females. There were 9 females in that group. Now this new data set work.filter will be stored in the work library. It's a temporary data set. So in case that we need to retrieve it or we need to do something else with it, it's here under work, okay? Filter. So that's the data set, right? Now, let me say that not only I want the females, I want the females who are 14 or older, let's say. So I need to include a logical step here, a logical operation, and or. Remember, and means the two conditions are happening at the same time. So we have females who are 14 or older. So we have an and condition there. Now, or means either one or the other. So if I say or, that would mean either is a female or age is greater than or equal to 14, right? That will comprise also males that are 14 or older, okay? And that will comprise females who are younger than 14. So you have to keep that in mind. So whenever you want two things at the same time, that's and. Okay, so let's say that we want females who are 14 or older. So the second variable is age, right? We want greater than or equal to 14, and we are doing all of this in the class data set, which is stored in the SAS help library. So let's run that. You see, now it tells you the dataset filter already exists. Do you want to override the existing data set? Yes. So now we only have in this new data set called filter in the work library, it's a temporary data set, we only have the females who are 14 or older. Okay? So now let's say that on top of this, I want to sort them by height from, the tallest to the shortest, right? In descending order. So what do I need to do now? Well, now I need to sort, right? So if I go to tasks and libraries, I can go here, click sort. Now, what am I gonna sort? Well, I'm gonna sort the data set that I have already filtered. So that one, as I said, is in the work library, which is the temporary datasets library. If you click there, it's called filter. You can change that name if you don't like it. You can call it whatever you like. And then sort by. What are you gonna sort it by? Well, height, right? We said that we were gonna sort it by height. The default option is in ascending order. I want descending order. So the tallest will be the first person. And then columns to drop. Here you can, if you want, you can drop the gender, the sex column, because we already know that it's going to be, all of them are females. So what's the point on having that column there? And maybe if you don't care about the weight, you can also drop it. And that's it. Run it. Now, you see, what's the output? Well, we have only the name, the age, and the height. And the data set is actually sorted by height. You see? Tallest person is number 1, then number 2, 3, and 4. So in descending order. So this is our final table, the final list that we want. Now, how do I now download this and print it? Well, you have to go back to, all of this is, stored in this table here, sort DS. That's the name that SAS generated for it in the work library. So that's my, my last table, the end product of this operations that I performed. Now I go to list data, and I'm gonna select sort DS. That's the final one. And basically, let's run it. There you go, that's the list. Now you can download it as a PDF, let's say. And there you go. That's your final table that contains only the names of the females who were 14 years old or older, sorted by height in descending order. So you can do all sorts of manipulations with this very simple point and click tasks. Filtering, sorting, listing, and you can output the result as a PDF or an RTF or an HTML file that you can then print, okay, as a report.